Johnny Somali finally found out of the Disastrous trial results. I have not looked up the trial at all. So, let's see.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So what you're looking at on the screen right now is the face of a man who knows
He's wearing a Make America Great Again hat. Also, why does he look like he's having an orgasm? What is happening? Also, why is he white here? Is that cum?
the walls are closing in on him. Johnny Somali, throughout his nuisance streaming career, has always laughed in the face of potential consequences. However, given the way that his trial is proceeding in Korea right now, I think even Johnny Somali knows how cooked he is and how much his life is going to be thrown upside down for a very foreseeable amount of time in the future. This is a classic case of F around and find out. This man has annoyed people for content across many different nations, but his actions have finally resulted in some serious consequences, and that's what we're going to be going over today in this video. So here's the latest situation. His long-awaited trial in Korea has begun, and it is not going well for Johnny Somali, who seems completely bewildered by everything going on. He's realizing this isn't a joke anymore, and as you can see in this description, he came in smiling, but the smile was cut quickly when the judge announced the charges, and he is facing up to 5 years for some of these charges that he has now pled guilty to. But that's just the beginning. There's even more heading his way, and that's what we're going to talk about for the rest of this video. So, in my previous video talking about some nuisance streamers, also finding out getting beaten up in the street by...
Another one? Another one! Bring me another! Where are these, like, these nuisance streamers? Like, they try to replicate what Johnny Somali did, but it's not working. Like, we know the result. Like, it's not working.
Locals for their antics. Johnny Somali was also featured in that video briefly because he's trying to start basically a turf war with the CX group, which is a bunch of other nuisance streamers led by Ice Poseidon mainly. And he was threatening Japan. He was threatening to come back to Japan and all these things. But everyone...
Threatening Japan? To come back? But that makes no sense. Isn't he banned from, like, ever entering Japan again? How can he then return? Like, illegally?
Watching this guy is completely powerless. He can't do anything right now. He is stuck in Korea, and he's facing this trial that is now officially began. But during that same time, Johnny Somali faced some other, let's say, challenges. Apparently, some hackers in South Korea were able to find his current location. He has been bouncing around a lot ever since his initial location was given away, and he's trying to lay low, of course, because people want to basically treat him on sight. You know, if they see him in public, they're trying to go after him. So finding his location is definitely bad for him. What ended up happening here is that with some other existing information, some hackers were able to notice a brick wall in the background of one of his streams, and they were able to triangulate all of that information together.
They found him again? The hackers? That is crazy. The dedication is crazy. The dedication is really based. Is it someone you cared about? Yeah. I knew that night. It's a married couple. I knew that night a baby was made. At least around that time.
To find his current location, and these hackers apparently were just doing it for practice and for fun, and they didn't really care for the information, so they basically just kind of left it to anyone who's interested. But that is explained here in this stream on Legal Mindset's channel. If you don't know, he's been very heavily involved, one of the many individuals heavily involved with this whole Johnny Somali situation, mainly the trial. But let's listen to how this whole tracking situation went down.
So, you know, they're filming and there's a brick wall behind them.
Mm-hmm.
So the hackers were able to pinpoint based on the brick.
They just did it for shits and giggles, just like as a training. And they really found the place where he is with the brick wall. That is crazy.
Wall, where the brick wall was, and then triangulate that to whatever device they were using, and then find out their exact location.
Holy shit! They used internet autism in order to pinpoint them, and
internet what?
Holy shit! They used internet autism in
Internet autism. I've never heard it in those words in that combination. Very interesting. Next trial is April 9th. Okay.
Exactly.
To pinpoint them, and oh god.
Yeah, internet autism. Don't mess with people like that. They can figure pretty much anything out if they have the time and desire to do so. But that was a good development in terms of the trial too, because if people know his location, it's gonna be a lot harder for Johnny Somali to try to pull something like, you know, I don't know, flee, try to run away and avoid going to the trial itself. But having that in mind, there was another development right.
I mean, even if he were to, even if he were to run away, it would just make it worse. Like, even if he tried to avoid it.
About at the same moment where a fourth charge was added to the docket of Ramzi Khalid Ismail, aka Johnny Somali, for his trial that was scheduled for March 7th. And yeah, that's a pretty big development because every single charge, they're just adding up. The potential consequences.
He's catching them all. He's like adding it up over and over and over. What the heck? Four. Any more?
Of these charges, they keep mounting. Even some of the smaller charges, like the minor crimes thing, I think that's what it's called. They're very small penalties, but they help enhance the overall sentence. So it's a very helpful thing to happen. Around that time, though, Johnny Somali was preparing for his trial. And as you can see, he's doing great. He's in a really good place.
Is he drunk? Supposed to go to the courthouse for trial. He gets shit-faced, drunk, and vomits all over. Ain't no way. He's actually drunk. Cook.
Right now, he spent the morning before the trial up till 5 a.m. getting plastered on stream and basically acting a fool, including this clip that I'm not going to play because it's gross. Johnny Somali starts vomiting all over his friend's apartment, even films the aftermath. It's just gross.
Ooh. Why would you film that? Why would you film that? Why would you film you vomiting all over your friend's apartment? Ooh. Oh, he's not going to survive in the Korean prison. Korean prisoners will attack him for being mean. Probably.
And what's with this dude, by the way? Like, he gets plastered after, like, 2 beers. He's a very, very, let's just say a lightweight. Like, this dude needs to be drinking on, like, that Midori drink. You know, it's the melon liquor that apparently has less alcohol content than most waters. Like, jokes aside, but the guy is definitely a lightweight, and he should definitely stay away from liquor all the time because of his inclinations with it. But also, the morning of his trial would be a good time to avoid that. And during that same stream, he also announced that he's streaming on a different platform called Party.
New streaming platform just dropped when? Interesting. Some people like catching STDs, some like to catch charges. Yeah, trying to catch a case here.
And this is the site. I mean, he's really pulling some big numbers over here. 184 followers. What a great investment that was. But he briefly explained this whole endeavor on that platform and also his desire to stream the entire trial, which definitely would have made him in contempt of court, by the way. But anyways, let's listen to what he had to say.
And we're going to make sure that we can make some fire-ass content here while I'm still in Korea. The trial is live tomorrow, and I will be live streaming the trial. I will be live streaming before, during, and after, exclusively here on Party. Tomorrow, the plan is we're going to hit the courtroom live. We're going to see a bunch of the ops. We're going to see possibly Yu Dalgoon is going to pull up. You know what I mean? I don't want to say his name. Lolly Mindset, Pedo Mindset.
What? Did he just call Legal Mindset a file? What the fuck? Huh? That is crazy. I wonder if can he sue him for that? I'm just questioning. Can he do that? 184 more than expected. I think there's just hate followers at this point.
Atozi the rug seller, a bunch of niggas that have made their careers and made their YouTube names based on me.
Oh, the narcissism is
The narcissism is crazy, considering that Legal Mindset was bigger than you before that already. With a lot of, like, especially with, like, the VTuber stuff he's also involved in. Huh? Can we add slander to the charges? Apparently, we could.
Unbelievable. So besides the slander and the attempts to dunk on his ops here, Johnny Somali is completely delusional. He thought he was going to roll into the courthouse and record his own trial. Everyone knows that cameras have not been allowed inside of the courtroom. That was something that was decided a very long time ago. Even a bystander like me is aware of that development, but Johnny Somali, the guy on trial, doesn't even know these things. It's insane, but you can tell in this clip also, he's very drunk, and that is basically his condition leading up until he showed up to the courthouse an hour late. Yes, as you can see here,
the bro got his ass beat by the South Koreans and now is an alcoholic. Probably not, but regardless.
Johnny Somali pleads guilty in South Korean court after showing up late and hungover. So,
he pleads guilty, and like that I knew, but and he showed up late and hungover. This is crazy.
Apparently, he was not in the best condition. Shocking, I know. Drinking till 5 a.m. before the morning of your trial is typically not the best idea. But yeah, he showed up an hour late, and also there were a lot of people ready to report on the situation. This is pretty funny. You can see all of these content creators and basically public social media figures here all coming together to report for the trial and to witness it in person. Like I said,
wait, that is what he means by the ops?
They can't bring cameras inside the actual courtroom itself, but you can see a lot of people and some YouTubers here coming together. Imagine, like, as this comment points out down here, there's a wholesome meetup over a guy they want to see go to jail. Like, Johnny Somali, through his antics, have actually created a bond between people who are enjoying and relishing.
We all unite in the hate of Johnny Somali. We are all friends here now. Bro created world peace in a sense.
In his downfall. It's actually a beautiful thing to see. But let's focus on right here, Legal Mindset, who was there. We've definitely talked about him a lot on this channel. Like I said, he's been following this very closely. He's there at the courthouse, watching it all go down. And he had this to say in a YouTube short, a quick update on the Somali trial, describing the appearance and attitude of Johnny Somali as he pulled up to the courthouse an hour late, by the way.
So we just wrapped up with the first day of trial for the Ramzi Khalid Ismail case, that is Johnny Somali. And what happened was he was over an hour late to his trial. It was packed, completely full courtroom. Almost everybody was there for him. And he came in with Hank. He was dressed in a white suit. Hank was in a black suit, very, you know, ebony and ivory sort of.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, this guy, like, I get it, right? He's supposed to be outrageous. He's trying to troll everyone, but, like, dude, everyone has to get to the point where, like, this is...
I think, like, is he that delusional that he thinks that he's gonna get through this unscathed? Like, is he that delusional?
This is real shit. You gotta stop at this point. You're at a courthouse in a foreign land. Like, they're coming for you, dude, and you're doing everything in your power to piss them off and to make a joke out of this entire trial. It's not going to work. You can make a joke out of, like, content creators coming after you, but the legal system in a foreign country, yeah, you can't meme on them, dude.
The thing they had going on there, he immediately looked at me directly, stuck his tongue out. He was wearing...
Oh my god. He definitely is. Wow, the disrespect. Bro is cooked. Bro is certainly cooked.
Wearing a MAGA hat. He was instructed twice to take it off. and bungled that absolutely hilariously multiple times. He proceeded to go to the stand in the wrong place and head forward. The key is to all of this that he was completely blindsided by both the procedure and the charges. I will get into that on a later video, but he pled guilty to all 3 of the original charges, that is the first obstruction and the 2 Minor Crimes Act violations. But the last obstruction, the new one that just came out this week, they had no idea about. His lawyer didn't know, he didn't know. So they have to schedule a whole new trial date 3 weeks from now just for him to plead guilty, and that won't be the end of the story.
That won't be the end. I could imagine there will probably still be another thing. Like, imagine if he does more stuff in Korea, right? If he does more silly stuff, they could technically add up even more.
For Ramsey. So I'll catch you guys all up later.
Okay, so that's amazing. That's great news, right? He has pled guilty to the 3 original charges, and as I pointed out, I showed you earlier, Legal Mindset reported that there was a 4th charge in this proceeding. Johnny Somali and his lawyer didn't even know this existed, but people like Legal Mindset knew about it. If I didn't dislike Johnny Somali and want to see him suffer the consequences of his actions so badly, I'd be saying this looks like malpractice at this point. How are you not aware of all of the charges?
Especially, like, your own lawyer should at least be aware of it. You wanna go to jail. At this point, you want to be the news streamer in jail.
Your client is facing. That's crazy to me. But like I said, don't feel bad for Johnny Somali in this situation, but it is very ridiculous that they have to go to another date here to settle this 4th charge, which he's going to likely plead guilty to, and this will just add on. And as you said, there's more to come, and there are some interesting developments that we'll look at in just a second here, but this is overall what's going on here, right? He's facing 4 total charges, 2 counts of obstruction of business and 2 violations of the Minor Crimes Act, which, by the way, in case you don't know, it's like this very...
It's just straight up more, huh? It's just straight up more. It's always more.
Catch-all type thing that's added on to typically existing other charges. This is a very, like, minor set of consequences and penalties coming from these, but it's just, again, it's more to add on. I mean, some of these things in the Minor Crimes Act center around, like, obstruction or disorderly conduct, things like that, which is basically Johnny Somali's entire presence in the world. So it's easy to get those on there. But yeah, I mean, what was he going to do other than plead guilty, especially with the obstruction of business? We saw the one clip that is the first charge of that, and he's on camera doing everything he's being charged of because he streams every moment of his life. So just like that, predictably.
I mean, yeah. The question is how much would, like, there's certainly a chance that not just 4 but 5 charges or 6 charges, there might be more coming up. We do not know. Like, they might find more. When conducting another hearing costs a lot of money, won't it piss them off more? Probably, but depending on if they find more, they probably need even more another hearing after the next one.
His crime was literally on camera for the world to see, and now he's just kind of screwed. But he does kind of hint that there might be even more or something coming down the pipeline, which will definitely be interesting. I hope we can see some more coming his way. That'd be very funny to see. But there's another thing to focus on here. This is outside of everything else. Okay, so we have the court proceedings going on right now with the 4 charges, but that might not be all Johnny Somali is facing. This, if true, this is according to Johnny Somali so far, if this is true, he might be really cooked. Now, I think this one's a little more far-fetched, right? But the fact that it's even in motion at all is hilarious. So what am I talking about? Well, apparently, he's being investigated for violating the National Security Act, mainly because of some deepfakes he's done and also...
Ooh, even the deepfake stuff is getting to him. Interesting. We love to see it.
Some comments he's made about North Korea, which they take very seriously in South Korea and for obvious reasons. And this is what he said. he said that he's been getting investigated and brought in and had to talk to these officials, and this is some of the lines of dialogue he was dealing with.
The detective looked me in the eye and he said, Johnny, do you know where North Korea is? I said, it's the dumbass guy, like, north of here? Like, straight up, I told homie, I said, north of here? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, nigga? North of here? Like, this is a stupid ass question. And then he asked me, what's your relationship with North Korean communists?
Wait! They treat him like he make you have connection to North Korea? That is crazy. That is crazy. Bro is actually cooked if they really ask questions like that. Bro might actually be cooked.
I said, right to remain silent.
This is in America.
Bro, you're acting sus for them.
Dude.
Do you know the situation that's going on between North Korea and South Korea? I told him, I'm from America. I don't care. Simple like that.
Amazing, dude. First of all, let me be the first to tell you, do you think he actually said that? Do you think he had actually had that attitude? We know he was probably scared inside that room where he was being investigated. If this happened, right? Earlier in the clip, he showed off some papers that are in Korean, of course, and he's kind of screwed in that regard because he has no idea what's going on. He was trying to find someone to translate these for him, but if this is anything that's serious, I mean, come on, man. He's messing with national security, and his only defense is starting to say right to remain silent. He's exercising his American rights while in South Korea.
True. They gave him a piece of paper as well. Crazy. Yeah, you don't mess with the country's national security. That could get you in trouble.
That's interesting, but unfortunately for Johnny Somali, it just keeps adding up and adding up. And again, nobody feels sorry for this guy. I mean, even like the fans and the people who have been supporting him or enjoying his content, I think there's a set of apathy there as well. It doesn't seem like he gets the traction he used to. And, you know, part of it too is he just can't really do anything, right? He can't do his normal activities because he's been so shunned and also has such a microscope on him at all times. He can't just go out in public and do things anymore. And unfortunately for him, his normal cycle is when he gets to the point where he's getting jumped outside everywhere he goes, he leaves the country and goes somewhere else.
Yeah, but in this case, he cannot leave. Like, he can't. Like, there's no way he can leave. At this point, it's just free content.
And basically has a cool-off period. Except this time, he can't leave. And it sounds like he's not going to be leaving for a very long time. But that's going to do it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. If we have some more serious updates regarding this...
It's very simple. At this point, he's just free content. You can make probably at least 4 more videos on him if things go bad. He's just free content at this point. Just farming him at this point. Everyone is farming him. Worth it. At this point, he's just free content. Send him to jail already. Send him to jail already. We'll see what happens with him. But yeah, send him to jail.